it's not so much about the naked. It's everything that surrounds the naked. It's a fucking shit show. What you think you see, what you think you hear, that's what it's about. Mood and atmosphere. No, it's fucking garbage. It's garbage. Mood and atmosphere. Now that I really like. That's what I'm looking for. That's what I want to see. Hey folks, how you doing? Dave McRae here. Okay, I want this video to act as sort of an addendum to the video that I uploaded yesterday morning at like 5 a.m., at least as of shooting this video, where I rip Halloween Resurrection a new one. The epic Halloween Resurrection Rant. I pull no punches in that video. I go right for the fucking jugular because I think it's a fucking dog shit show of a movie. And there's a variety of reasons for that, many of which I went into in that video, but there's still a lot of things that I left out. I mean, that video was about 30 minutes long, and that's where I thought I should stop because, you know, it's kind of long. Even though many of you would probably be very happy to watch a 90-minute video of me ripping Halloween Resurrection a new one. But nonetheless, maybe I'll do more in the future. Well, this is kind of one here in some ways, but it's an addendum, okay? So it's additional information to help give some context. Here's the situation. So at the beginning of that video that I posted yesterday morning, I focused on how hilarious I thought the whole premise was of Halloween Resurrection. The whole idea how Michael survived and how that wasn't Michael Myers at actually the end of Halloween H2O. No, it was because he swapped suits with the paramedic and all that kind of shit. And I just thought it was fucking hilarious because, you know, the visual of Michael getting naked and changing suits with the paramedic who probably would have been in his tighty whities. He always struck me as a tighty whities kind of guy, not necessarily a boxers kind of guy, you know, and then that whole visual is funny to me. And there's reasons, and that's where I tended to focus on. And I think a lot of people misunderstood that focus, that area of focus, as me saying that Michael Myers has presumably not been naked in any other Halloween movies. And that's not what I was saying at all. Listen, we know he was presumably naked in the first Halloween because he was just wearing a white sheet, and then when he killed Freddie Mercury, who's lying off in the bushes, I always think he looks like Freddie Mercury. You know, when the camera pans and you see the guy in the bushes and he's got the stash, he kind of looks like Freddie Mercury, or maybe even a young Tom Selleck, maybe even a 70s porn star. But I like to go with Freddie Mercury. Rest his soul. Fucking love Freddie Mercury too. He was great. He was fucking amazing. Anyway, so, you know, obviously he would have been in his white sheet, killed the guy, took off the white sheet, he would have been nude, put on the jumpsuit. We know that. But everything surrounding that, the motivation for that makes sense to me, right? He's a fish out of water, he's just got this white sheet on, he doesn't know what to do. You know, he's looking for something that feels a little more comfortable, right? He needs to get out of this sheet. Sees a mechanic maybe on the side of the road or something, you know, at the payphone maybe, and he's like, boom. Perfect, right? And that's what he does. Like everything. So I don't think twice about it. It makes sense. The motivation makes sense. The whole idea of what Resurrection was trying to say and do to justify him still being around and having this movie, Halloween Resurrection, renders everything in H2O obsolete. Look, Halloween H2O was a movie about redemption. It was a movie about Laurie, who was an alcoholic. She was on the run for 20 years. She ran to California because she always knew that her brother was still out there and she was afraid that her brother was going to come and get her. And how do we know this? Well, of course, at the beginning of the movie, there's that cop that says, "They never found his body." And well, there you go. There's the throwaway line. They never found his body. It doesn't tell us why he doesn't look burned and why he can see now, but okay, they didn't find his body. They never found his body. Oh, they never found his body. Oh, okay. All right, we're in. Anyway, so nonetheless, there we are, right? And she's on the run and her brother shows up and obviously finds her. Well, this is a movie about redemption, about her facing her fears, coming to terms with the reality that she's been running from for 20 years. So, you know, this is all about facing that fear. And at the end of the movie, it's like that exclamation point, right? Chops off that head. And you can see her standing there in the field going, like she feels it. She's done it. She's won. She's won. She may have lost a couple of the battles, but she's won the fucking war. She's done it. No, not according to the next movie. No, it was all for nothing. Completely fucking pointless. But then you could say, well, maybe she's, you know, she's not as catatonic as the nurses think she is because she's putting the pills in the thing and she's setting a trap on the roof because she knows he's coming. She knows he's coming. So she's ready. She may have lost that battle, but she's going to win the overall fucking war, man. No, she gets herself killed on the roof and she dies to her, you know, she falls to her death. So it's like, oh, so everything was fucking pointless. Look, you can watch Halloween H2O on its own. I think it's a fucking shit show of a movie, but you can watch Halloween H2O on its own and take it at its own merits and enjoy it. But because there is another part of the story that you can pretend doesn't exist, but actually does exist, the whole point of H2O is fucking pointless. It's pointless. It's pointless. It didn't work. The moral and the message that they were trying to convey in H2O renders itself completely obsolete by doing Halloween Resurrection, and certainly obsolete by killing her in the first 15 minutes of the movie. So it was all for nothing. It didn't work. She fucked up. She fucked up. It didn't work. She killed the paramedic and she fucked up on the roof. Way to go, fucking Laurie Strode. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's fucking stupid. So then we focus on the whole justification of Michael Myers being alive, right? And I focused on the hilarity of this visual of Michael being naked, but it had more to do with the optics around it, right? The motivation, because there's no reason for Michael Myers to want to switch jumpsuits. Why is he doing that? It doesn't make any sense, right? This was specifically written and shoehorned in to justify why that guy was a paramedic and why Michael is still around. It's not organic to his character. It's not part of his MO. And remember, by Halloween 8, he's full on supernatural, right? He's full on the real boogeyman, supernatural everything, right? So why didn't he just wake up, startled by the paramedic, crush the paramedic's voice box, have him die, and then just walk off into the ether? What would be the fucking point of switching jumpsuits? And then fans will say, well, because he wanted to sort of, cause a distraction and he wanted people to think that he was actually dead so he could have time to go off. Michael Myers doesn't need time. He's there and not there. That's Michael Myers. He's not thinking like that. He's a predator. He's a cat. He's a great white shark. He's instinctual. He's a force of nature. He's not going to sit there and go, oh, well, you know what? I think I hear the cops coming. Okay, you know what? I'm going to take this off. He's not going to do that. He doesn't give a fuck. He doesn't care. He can just disappear into the ether like he's always done. So it doesn't matter. He's not thinking about people after him. He doesn't care who's after him or who's looking for him or who's not or whatever. He doesn't care about that. He's not thinking about that. So the whole, justification that some might use that, well, he wants to trick everybody. Well, no, it's not tricking anybody. Eventually, they're going to take off the mask and go, oh, it's Bob. Oh, shit. Oh, well, I guess he's still out there. But he's always been still out there according to this new timeline. So who gives a shit? Do you know what I'm saying? That's not part of Michael's MO. He wouldn't have done that. That's why it's so stupid. Just kill the paramedic and then just walk off. What's with the swapping clothes? Oh, I know what it is. It was shoehorned in by the writer for nothing more. Nothing more. Fuck it if it's what Michael Myers would do, or if it makes sense as part of his character. Fuck that. We need to write it this way to justify why he's still around. And it's like, it's dog shit. It's dog shit. It makes no fucking sense to me because Michael Myers wouldn't take the time to do that. Even though I am a huge fan of the original intent of Michael Myers, and I am not a fan of where they took his character and any of these sequels, I certainly can say that that's not what Michael Myers would do. Yes, I know he did that at the end of the producer's cut of Halloween 6, where he swapped clothes with Dr. Wynn, and I thought it was fucking hilarious there as well. Because I'm picturing myself kind of just, why not just walk off? Why would you? It makes no sense. Why would you feel the need to change clothing and then just walk off into the ether and disappear like you've always done? Because people are only going to think it's you for 5 seconds until they tear off the mask and realize it's Dr. Wynn. It doesn't make any fucking sense. Well, he needed time to get away. Michael doesn't need time at all. He's there and not there. That's his MO. That's Michael Myers. That's the boogeyman. That's what he does. That's why it's so difficult for people to see him or catch him or know where he is. He's always one step ahead of everybody. He's not playing little sort of, games like that. I mean, he can play minor games within the confines of his chessboard, like, putting on a sheet and putting on the glasses, and little things like that, fucking with his victims at that time. But this isn't, he doesn't need to do that. He doesn't need to switch suits. It's too extraneous. It's too completely unnecessary. And that's why I find it so fucking hilarious. Because it's dumb, and it is clear as day, only shoehorned in to make you, to say that he's still alive. And I saw right through that fucking veil. I'm like, that's fucking dumb. Like, that's so dumb. Like, Michael just would have he would have just walked off. He would have just killed the guy and walked off. If he needed some time because he was injured or he had a hurt ankle or he needed to kind of decompress and have some Michael Myers alone time, he would have just fucking walked off. He would have walked off because he doesn't need time to get away. And the real hilarious thing is that at the beginning of Halloween Resurrection, showing the end of H2O, he walks off into the ether anyway, right? He's just in the paramedic uniform without his mask and still holding his butcher knife. So it's like, so why swap suits if that's what you're going to do anyway? Because that's just what you do. So why do that? Well, no, it's because he needed time. No, he didn't need time. Michael doesn't need time. He can just do it. Okay. Well, he wanted to get people to think that was really, how did Michael Myers know that the paramedic was going to come to life, okay, not remove his mask, okay, and that Jamie Lee Curtis would chop off its head thinking it was Michael Myers? How did he know? How did Michael Myers know that nobody would discover that the guy in the suit was not Michael Myers until an hour and a half later at the crime scene of his decapitated head? And that's what, it's stupid. It's stupid. Michael just would have got up, killed the guy, and walked off. Exactly what he did do, but just without switching suits. So it's fucking stupid. It's dumb. So that's what it is. It's not so much about the naked, although I focused on that because I think it's hilarious seeing this guy taking all this time getting nude. And it's just not what Michael Myers would do. That's why it's funny. It's because it's not what he would do. That's why it's funny. It's like, Michael, what are you doing? Just fucking walk away. Get out of here. Go. What are you doing? Why are you going through this? Oh, well, because in the next movie, we're going to say that this guy had thought it was me and that it really wasn't me. And I got to do this. Hang on 1 second. Oh, fuck, my penis is in the way. Okay, there we go. It's just like, fuck, it's dumb. So that's what it is. Okay. So for those of you that thought I was saying that Michael Myers at no point in time had ever been nude or whatever, or presumably naked, I wasn't saying that. It's the details that surround it that I think are fucking hilarious and completely and utterly unnecessary and doesn't match his MO at all. It's dumb. It's dumb. And clearly was only there to justify another movie. Ba-da-bum-ba. Anyways, folks, my name's Dave McRae. Comment below and let me know your thoughts. If you want to follow me on Facebook, you can at facebook.com/manythingsdavemcrae. That's where I tend to post in the meantime and in between time when I'm not posting here. The link is in the description. Maybe I will do a follow-up, another Halloween Resurrection video where I just butcher it again. Maybe I will. Or maybe you guys want to see me tear apart Halloween H2O. I could do that too. Comment below and let me know your thoughts on what Halloween movie or what movie maybe you want me to tear apart. Let me know. I'll think about it. I'll put it on the list. I'll talk to you guys soon. Cheers.